Thank you for staying with us. Welcome back. Agriculture Minister Ezekiel Joseph went head-to-head with the local media over questions about the future of the St. Lucia Fish Marketing Board. He says the matter has been dealt with and operations are moving forward as planned.
Agriculture Minister Ezekiel Joseph was in the mood for a game of cat and mouse with the local media on Tuesday morning as he answered questions without saying much about the future of the St. Lucia Fish Marketing Board. Joseph kept his answers brief and obscure as reporters sought to clear up numerous rumors surrounding the SLFMB.
What's the latest of the marketing board and fish marketing as in the operations right now? Could you just give us a bit on both?
Well, the marketing board is reopened. You're not aware of that?
The same staff?
They're reopened. You're not aware of that?
Is it the same staff, Mr.
They're reopened.
Is it the same
Fish
staff?
Marketing Corporation is a private individual.
But the marketing board staff, so is the same staff that existed before the...
Some of them, yes.
Some?
Yeah.
And the rest?
New management, some. Okay, operating now.
And fish marketing, can you just repeat what
Yeah,
you said?
it's a private individual.
And who's that?
A local.
A local...
I said it in Parliament, I made it mention in Parliament.
Regarding concerns of the fisher folk who were affected by the initial closure, Joseph said their problems have been taken care of.
They have been concerned about the fishermen saying they do not have the proper facilities. Can you give us
I don't know, so I mean they have proper facilities.
Well, they used to get ice and all those.
Well, they're getting ice. The new individual is selling ice. The new individual, the local individual is refurbishing. And as soon as that is finished, they start purchasing.
So why is it a secret, the local individual?
I said it in Parliament.
Who's the individual, sir?
I said it in Parliament.
The minister's claims thwarted rumors that the board has been placed in the hands of a Jamaican company. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I'm Rochelle Gonzalez.
Venezuelan authorities say they are putting down a small coup attempt after opposition leader Juan Guaido announced he was in the final phase of ending President Nicolas Maduro's rule. He appeared in a video with uniformed men saying he had military support. Guaido, who declared himself interim president in January, called for members of the military to help him end Maduro's reign of power. But military leaders appeared to be standing behind Maduro. Venezuela's defense minister appeared on television to stress the point. However, photos from Caracas show some soldiers aligning themselves with Juan Guaido and his supporters. Maduro's detractors hope the military will change its allegiance as resentment grows following years of hyperinflation, power cuts, food and medicine shortages. So far, they have stood behind President Nicolas Maduro, despite dozens of countries, including the UK, the US, and some countries of Latin America, recognizing Juan Guaido as Venezuela's rightful leader. Blindness Awareness Month is being observed in the month of May, and as part of the observance, the St. Lucia Blind Welfare Association has rolled out a list of activities that look to bolster the organization, as well as raise much-needed attention for the inclusion of people with poor or no eyesight.
Bringing awareness to the issue of blindness is top priority for the St. Lucia Blind Welfare Association moving into the month of May, designated as the official month for blindness awareness in the English-speaking Caribbean. Executive Director of the SLBWA, Anthony Avril, provided a historical footnote about the significance of the month. He cited the arduous journey taken by Guyana national James Alves some 105 years ago as the catalyst for greater awareness to the issues affecting the visually impaired and blind.
He sowed the first seed in favor of people living with blindness and vision impairment when he traversed the Caribbean by boat from Guyana all the way across. His mission was to encourage the powers that be to begin training services for people with blindness and vision impairment. His call was answered in Trinidad, where the first service was established on May 18, 1914. And this catapults the services right across the Caribbean. For St. Lucia, we started in the 60s. And in the 80s, the Caribbean Council for the Blind and Vision Impairment declared May 31st the Regional Day of Blindness Awareness.
Avril noted that although the association continues to face a number of challenges, its survival relies on community and network developing, which he said lent itself to the theme of this year's Blind Awareness Month, entitled Mobilizing Community, Building Resilience.
We are educating the St. Lucian populace with regard to blindness, but we want them to learn how blindness, what it is, what it does, and how to live with it. We want to be able to provide opportunities for the people who are affected by this thing called blindness, that they would be able to continue to live life in spite of it.
Meanwhile, Administration Projects Coordinator Deborah Pamphil McLean outlined a number of activities set for the month. The activities are in keeping with raising awareness of issues affecting people with visual impairments.
There will be a national address by our president, Mr. Glenn Simon. He will talk of the plans, the progress of the St. Lucia Blind Welfare Association. Also, the beginning of our Oriental Touch Therapy program. The St. Lucia Blind Welfare Association will embark on a project that will not only empower our blind and visually impaired people with new skills, it will be skills that could be enhanced, skills that could be exported. And that is also seen as a project that will increase revenue for the St. Lucia Blind Welfare Association in support and sustain its programs. One of the other activities we have is an evening of appreciation and award to those persons who have made contribution and supported the St. Lucia Blind Welfare Association through its 40 years since in service. The St. Lucia Blind Welfare Association does not only believe in receiving, we also believe in giving back. And this is what this evening is all about. A major activity for us this year is the mapping of our blind and visually impaired people around the island. We will employ a session where we go into the communities and find out exactly where our blind and visually impaired people are, what portion of the population, where they are concentrated more.
Pamphil McLean says they are hoping to host an assembly of blind and visually impaired geared towards identifying the needs of the visually impaired, as well as a sporting day inclusive of blind cricket. A special thanks was also given to Marcy Stores for coming on board to be a part of Blind Awareness Month, with the opportunity for Marcy customers to donate to the SLBWA at cash registers. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Solaj Alfred.
A call for observance of disability signs is being echoed by Massey Stores and the president of the Blind Welfare Association. The organizations are voicing their concern after what they say is an increase in the number of individuals abusing parking spots specifically reserved for persons with disabilities. Solange Alfred reports.
Longtime benefactor of the St. Lucia Blind Welfare Association, Marcy Stores, at a recent press briefing announcing plans for Blind Awareness Month, took the opportunity to call out an undesirable situation. Divisional Head of Marketing at Marcy Stores, St. Lucia, Soraya Best, says the problem of able-bodied individuals using disability parking needs to cease.
We are very conscious of the fact that persons with disabilities have challenges when they come to shop, etc. And so we have designated parking spaces that are specific for persons with disabilities. We note that on occasion, persons who are not disabled use those parking spaces. And it's something we really want to encourage, members of the public, our valued customers, to just be mindful that these spots have been designated for persons who actually have a disability. So we just all want to, ensure that we can leave those spaces free for when somebody who has a disability comes, so that that person is able to get into the supermarket with relative ease, that the spaces are as close to the store as possible.
Adding weight to the appeal, Executive Director of the SLBWA, Anthony Avril, questioned the St. Lucian public by asking them to put themselves in the shoes or wheelchairs of disabled persons going through their daily lives.
When it comes to access for persons with disabilities, we have to stand united on that. It affects all of us, every one of us. Anybody, people who are suffering from strokes and all kinds of other things at this point had no idea that they would be where they are now. It can happen at any time, at any place, anywhere. So when we call for access and when we call for respecting the places where it has been provided, we are actually asking St. Lucians to respect yourselves. Think of yourselves. If you had a disability and you were either being driven or driving a vehicle, and there is a place which is made available to you, but someone else has taken it, and then you have to try and find your way crawling or whatever form of some broken steps and whatever, how would you feel?
For their part, Marcy Stores has outlined its role in this year's Blind Awareness Month, which will include facilitation of donations from customers at register points.
As a supermarket operator, communities, families, lots of persons go through our supermarkets at any given time. And what we will be doing this year is encouraging all of our customers to make a donation at the cash register. From the 1st of May, well, tomorrow is a holiday, so we'll be closed, but from the 2nd of May right through to the 31st of May, persons will have an opportunity to donate directly at the cash register. You can make your donations 5, 10, 20, 25, 30, up to $200. And we are excited by that because we know that St. Lucia is always very willing to support. They just need an avenue to do so. So this is one of the ways that we plan to work with the organization. We are also encouraging all of our staff to wear crazy socks on the 31st of May. This is the Regional Day of Blindness, and we will be charging our staff to do so.
Best also put the call out to other corporate entities to be part of the Regional Day of Blindness celebrated on May 31st by charging employees to wear crazy socks as a means to bring attention to the issue of blindness and raise funds for the St. Lucia Blind Welfare Association. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Solange Alfred.
Thank you, Solange. Tennis in Glasgow is up next with all the sporting action.